Hi, Mike Swanson here, and I want to thank everybody for the feedback. We've had a lot of success with this indicator, but as you probably know, entry is only half the battle. The rest of it really comes down to money management and where to exit. These signals are great, there's a lot of potential, but knowing how and when to exit is a key part of your strategy. So I want to show you two different methods today. The first one, and we're going to use the trend entry indicator itself for an exit indicator. And so let me show you how this works. As you have it set up now, you've got the arrow showing up giving you entry signals, and what you'll want to do is attach the trend entry indicator again. You come down here into the navigator, double click on trend entry, and you're going to want to change this trade frequency to 5. The default is 3, that's for your entry. If you change it to 5, you can use these as exit signals. And what I do so that I can tell the difference between them is I will change the arrow size to 1. That will make them smaller for both buy and sell arrows. And I'll even change the color of these to aqua and magenta, just different colors so I can tell the difference. And then I'll click OK, and now you can see I've got my entry signals still there, but I've also got these signals for exit. So I'm going to show you here how to use these and also how to use a re-entry method. So let's say I took this buy trade here. I'm in the market, it's heading up nicely, I'm up 20 or 30 or so pips, and then I see this this little arrow show up that we're using as an exit. I would want to exit my trade, or maybe even a scale out of my trade, and we'll cover scaling out in a future video, but you can use this as an exit signal. But let me point out, as you can see here, you didn't capture the whole move, and one thing you can do is get back in. A lot of traders get caught up at that they have to capture the whole entire move in one shot. What you can do is take the trend in pieces, and sometimes you can even make more money that way, because what you can do is get out and then re-enter at a better place. And that's what happens here. You have an arrow that took you in, you exit your part of your trade or exit your trade, and then you get back in or add to your position when you see this little arrow show up. So whenever you see an arrow that matches the direction of your initial trade, you can re-enter and then exit again on the small arrow that's the other direction. So this is one method you can use. Let me show you an example on the sell side. Let's just scroll back a little bit here. Okay, here's another one. You've got the signal shows up, you ride the move all the way down to the bottom, and then you see an arrow to go ahead and exit part of that trade or exit your position for 40 pips. And we're on the 5-minute pound. That's a pretty significant move for that time frame. You didn't need a very big stop on this, maybe 10 pips or so, and you picked up 40. So that's a great risk to reward ratio. And so you exit your trade here, and then you see the re-entry arrow. So you enter back in and you exit again. And you can keep taking these. You can keep re-entering and taking these little trades until you finally see your original signal to go the other direction. So if you're selling, as soon as you see this big blue arrow, you would no longer want to take these re-entry signals. Okay, so that method is fairly easy to implement. Just put the indicator on there. When you see the small arrows, go ahead and exit your position and use the re-entry signal. Now, some of you are probably wondering, what if I'm already using a setting of 5 for my original entry, for my normal entry signal? Then you're going to see the same arrows for exit. So what you're going to want to do in that case, and you can even use the second method for exit, even if you are using another, a setting of 3, setting of 1, whatever else you're using, you can still use this method as well. But what this will be is using the noise filter. And what you're going to do is when you're in a trade, like this sell trade, watch the noise filter. It's always going to be outside the channel when you're entering. It'll be below this bottom channel when you're shorting or going selling, and it will be above this channel over here when you're buying. So once you're in that trade, what you can do is wait till that line comes back inside the channel. Once it does that, scale out of your trade or start to exit your position. What I like to do is use the scaling out method, because that way I just take some risk off the table. That way if the market did shoot back up, I'm not fully invested in the trade. I've taken part of my profits out, and that way I'm still allowing myself to capture a larger move if it does continue. And so that's how you would do this on a sell trade. It comes back up, you're out of that part of that trade. Let me show you on a buy trade. Let's see. Okay, here's a buy trade. The line comes outside the channel, you're in that trade, it's riding up, comes back inside, and you capture 15 pips, or just scale out, like I say, scale out part of your trade. And what you can do is use these two exit methods together. So I exit part of my trade here. Let's say I have a standard lot, I'm trading 1.0 lots. I exit for an 11 pip profit here, move my stop maybe to break even, so I've reduced exposure to the market, and then use my little exit signal arrow on the rest of my trade, so I capture another 47 pips. So those are two exit methods you guys can use. Obviously there's a lot more, there's money management, there's stop losses, take profits, and we do have a trading tool that we're going to talk about in our next video called PipStat. You can see here this is what it looks like, and it will automatically calculate the ideal stop loss and take profit and lot size. It makes it very easy to trade when you have all that information being done for you. It's all there for you to use, as well as there's scaling in and scaling out tools. So go ahead and try these exit strategies I've taught you guys. The PipStat will cover that more in the next video, so stay tuned and I'll talk to you soon.